The wife you choose is the life you choose. I have it dark in here because it's scary hours. This is a scary topic right here, fellas. These are the red flags to pay attention to. If you do not pay attention to these red flags, a wreck is on the way. Here are 10 red flags you must pay attention to. If you miss any of them and you don't put weight on any of these, it's on you. This is how guys end up with baby mamas and baby mama drama and getting half of their assets taken, getting attached to the wrong woman. I'm going to start this off and say, first and foremost, have a foundation in God in your relationship. Whatever woman that you meet, if it is not starting with some sort of foundation of God, you run the risk of overlooking the red flags, because being close to God builds your discernment and gives you a compass on which way to go and a lie detector test on who is who and what's really going on here. My discernment is, it might not be a 10 right now. I'm at like a smooth 8 though. I was at about a 5 about a year ago, straight up. The first red flag I want you to pay attention to is she says her ex just had all the issues. This woman that you're in front of, she seems so golden and innocent in front of you. But you realize that she never says anything about herself and where she could have been better in her prior relationships. Everything was about her exes. He didn't do this and he ain't show up and he did this and he cheated and he this and he. Everything is about what this man did. Listen, we've all been in relationships, and it's not easy to take accountability for why a relationship ended. If there are two people, the person you're talking to just always happens to be the one who was right. I've rarely met a woman who said we broke up because I was the issue. I'm not sure I've ever met one woman say that in my life. Serious. In some of these relationships, the woman was the problem. But how are we not meeting that woman who says I was the problem? You meet her, she's great, and she says her ex had all the issues. He was broke, or he wasn't good in bed, or he cheated, or his other baby mama this, and blah, blah, whatever. Red flag, pay attention to that, because you may be the next victim who has all the problems. So on everybody else. Number 2, Kanye's favorite line. He said, y'all think y'all got your girl? He said, no. Instagram got your bitch. If the woman in front of you seeks validation from the population before she seeks validation from you. Now, mind you, I use validation lightly. All right. Let's just say attention, because we shouldn't need validation. But a lot of us are operating and needing validation. Let's just be real about it. We're all guilty. She sends that fly picture to social media before she sends it to you. She gives social media all her energy before she gives it to you. It's obvious whose attention she values, and it's not yours. You might be second, third, or fourth. It might go social media, then her girls, and then herself, and then you. Where does that leave you in feeling valuable? If she's seeking validation from her DMs, likes, views, all before she wants that love from you, big red flag. Number 2 might have been something that gets a little bit deep into the relationship, right? But let's go back to on the front end of things, right? Number 3, she nitpicks at you on the front end of the relationship. Does she correct your words? Is she trying to find you slipping up and maybe not using the right word in a sentence, or your slang? She says that, oh, well, you always use this word, or you're always doing this or doing that early, right? Critiquing you. Because typically when you like somebody, especially on the front end, you're certainly not critiquing them. You're not saying, oh, well, you're doing this a lot and I don't like when you do this. The first couple of dates, no one should be talking about anything they don't like, really. I mean, I just want to get to know you as a person. And no one's going to grab a book and start trying to find the typos. No, you're going to grab the book and start reading it. And then maybe you notice the typos from there. So you meet a woman, she starts critiquing your words and your movements and questioning you or creating doubt, dropping little hints of self-doubt within you. Red flag. She might not like you that much, because when you really like somebody, you don't really kind of get on their head early, especially maybe later. Imagine the girl that you're thinking about right now, because you're thinking about a woman right now. I'm describing her. Imagine if you take that same woman and you go sit her next to Drake or whoever. Is she going to act this way? No, she's not, because she values Drake or whatever, Morris Chestnut, whatever. She values those men's position or status maybe more than you. How would she act? Would she disrespect this man like that? Would she talk to this man like that if he had access to the club or a section or whatever it may be, or if he's funding her life? Red flag. Next, she does not operate in reciprocity. If that woman is not reaching for her wallet within the first 3 to 5 dates, that's a problem. Whether you have bread, bros, or you don't, a woman is going to show you reciprocal energy. Even if you say, hey, no, baby, don't worry about it. I'm taking care of it. You know, I got you. It's on me. The effort is what matters. A woman who likes you and cares about you and wants to pour into you is going to make an effort, even financially. As a man, I'm all for taking care of most of the bills, most of this, most of that, right? But there's a space in there where, hey, baby, you take care of 20% of things, 80-20. Right? Just so you have some responsibility financially. You have some skin in the game, just like me. So if we do go out 10 times, yeah, I would love for my woman to pay for the dinner or the lunch 2 out of 10 times, just to keep the balance. Just keep a level of respect and keep the entitlement to a minimum. Because that's what happens. When we start setting those stages, we are doing nothing but creating monsters. And my mom told me when I was yay high, son, don't start what you can't finish, because if you start something in a certain direction, you are going to create a monster. Scary hours. I might add some lightning right now. High value men, we deserve reciprocity. It's not a 50-50 thing. I'm not a 50-50 guy. High value men don't really believe in 50-50. I think we're going to be more so 80-20 or 100-0, but I don't think it should be 100-0. Maybe 95. Yeah, reciprocity. Pay attention to if she's just giving you energy back. You know, she has to come and play in your world sometimes, maybe the finances, and, you know, contribute a couple of dollars here or there. Another red flag, she doesn't have any female relationships. Where are her friends, right? How does she treat those people that are around her, those friends? Like, does she have some best friends? I know some women who have been in upwards of 10 to 15 weddings as bridesmaids. And I know some women who've not been in any. Why haven't you been in any freaking weddings? That's major. I mean, by the time you've gotten in your 30s and you haven't been in anyone's wedding, it's just a red flag. I'm not saying it's a hard stop. It's just something to pay attention to. Because what that is telling me is she a girl's girl or is she a hater? Is she a jealous type of girl, envious, or does she walk with an air about herself that makes other women not want to be around her? Let's talk about it. I'm cooking right now. These red flags are going to save your tail, bros. I'm telling you. Listen, if it's more than 3 of these, you got some real conversation that you need to have with yourself on if this woman is in your realm of energy. I'm telling you guys, listen to me. Another red flag. You feel like she's evaluating you versus valuing you. She's asking questions that just go a little bit too far about your group of friends, or invasive questions that almost seem like she's not sure about you. Now, there's one way to have questions and have good conversation, but there's another to try to evaluate me and figure out things about me, right? Get to know me as a person versus you try to evaluate and make it an application. Let's just learn each other. Let's just take it easy. Let's not dig into all the details that will possibly turn you off on the front end. If she's evaluating you and digging into who you are early, imagine who she'll be later. Scary times. Next, red flag. Next one. Y'all gonna get mad at me about this one, but another red flag is her relationship with her parents. Fellas, this is me trying to help. I'm not going to use a big old paintbrush to say that every woman who has parent issues is not to be dated. I'm not saying that, right? But if they've not addressed the issue, this is something to be aware of. It's a red flag. I'm not saying it's a hard stop. It's just a red flag, something to be cautious of and pay attention to. What I've seen is consistent patterns between women who have issues with their mom compared to when they have issues with their dad, or compared to when neither one of their parents were around. Now, a lot of times people didn't ask to be in these situations, but nonetheless, as much as you can understand, there are real results, real repercussions to how this person grew up. I love to ask women, was your childhood fun? Did you enjoy your childhood? Now, you got to ask this question very, very subtly. How's childhood for you? And typically from their explanation, they're going to tell you right then and there if they addressed it or not. You're going to be able to tell if they're still hurt if it's still something they're carrying with them, because that's a dangerous situation. Now, I'm going to be a band with you. I'm going to just be transparent, right? When I've dated women who had issues with their dad, those women tend to be better women to me. This is my lived experience. Call it what you want. Go crazy. I don't care. I'm just being honest with you. They tend to have a different attachment style than women who had issues with their mom. So women who had issues with their moms, from my experience, are dominant. They want to dominate the man. They want to dominate me, right? And that's not going to work because I'm not about to get dominated. I'll let you have your little moments, but you're not about to dominate me, right? Women who had issues with their father, from my experience, want to be more submissive to the man. So they want to cater to the man a lot more. That's my experience. So pay attention to those signs. And these are consistencies that I've seen over and over and over again. So I'm not saying it's all factual, but hey, the data is the data. If she does have these issues or did have these issues, as long as she's addressed it or she's willing to, hey, game on. Let's move forward. Let's work on this thing. But if she didn't see anything wrong or she saw something wrong, but she didn't realize that she is jacked up because of it, big problem. Big problem, because you are going to inherit the pain that she felt growing up. She's going to make you pay for that. Now, obviously, the woman who comes up in the two-parent household, odds are she's going to be a little bit more balanced than either of these women, right? Because even a woman who does have issues with her father or her father wasn't present, her attachment style is different, right? And so that may not be healthy either. So pay attention to all these signs and just go study this stuff, y'all. Like, ask those questions. They're important. They're going to determine what your life looks like, because the wife you choose is the life you choose. So play with these questions if you want to. Another red flag. She uses slang that exists in songs all the time. Or I'm gonna turn this into media as well. She listens to a lot of disparaging content. So it's a couple of different lines that women are saying, but they're adopting these thought processes. A common thing that's going around right now is, what's it called? Tight ship. Women are saying it's a tight ship over here, something like that. Listen, I might be out the loop, but not saying it, fellas, that means stop talking to the woman, but I'm saying pay attention, because when they say things like that, there's possibly a level of entitlement that exists. Because my thing is this: are you operating on the other end of that conversation as such? Are you walking in that same tight ship as you're expecting? You on my plan? You on my program? Now, see, men don't typically walk around talking about I run a tight ship. Men don't do that. We ain't moving like that. So a lot of times when a woman says something like that, there's a level of entitlement and delusion that is existing many times. I'm not saying 100 for 100, guys. These are just red flags. And if you see in 5, 6, 7, because a lot of times if you see one of these reds, or maybe 2 or 3, it's probably about 6 or 7, or they might be 10 out of 10. So pay attention to what they're saying and what they're watching. Are they watching videos where it's like, girl, forget him and you should be single? And yeah, pay attention to that stuff. That stuff is toxic, and it's killing our minds for real. So she says, hey, it's a tight ship over here. Unless you better let that tight ship sail on. For real. Oh, man, it's funny. Is it tight ship or tight program? I don't even remember, but I can't do it. And another red flag is when you bring her an issue, somehow you end up being the problem. And there's just no wife you choose is the life you choose. That is a huge one. Listen, I don't expect a woman to have as much accountability as me as a man. I think that's what actually makes a woman special, is that she has space where she wants to be protected and she wants to be like innocent. I think that actually makes a woman a woman. My concern is when there's zero accountability. You've been with this woman 6 months and they've not apologized about anything, 3 months or a year, and you can't think of a time that they say, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. You know, I made a big mistake. You can't navigate with the woman who's not accountable. And again, this all goes back to either she's really, really messed up or she doesn't value you, or both. When a woman really values a man, then she's going to do right by that man. She's going to apologize when necessary. She's going to reciprocate energy. She's going to just treat you well. Fellas, hopefully you picked up something from these conversations, because these are red flags. I've experienced them in various relationships, in dating. If you don't follow this program, you're going to be jacked up out here. And next thing you know, you got a baby with this woman, and I would hate that for you. Quit getting them girls pregnant. They number red flags. Some good cuddy and a big red flag will jack up your life. Quit playing around with these girls and go get you a woman who's pleasant, who's compassionate, who's loving, who cares about you. And she just wants the best for you. She gonna pour into you. She's just good to you. Just a good woman, a good sweet girl. That's the game, fellas. We are only dating sweet, compassionate women. We're not going for the BS anymore. All right, the jig is up. Only sweet, compassionate, and loving women moving forward. We are grown out here. The excitement days and all that other mess is done. It's over. Yeah, cut it. Sweet, compassionate, loving. That's all. They get in the ring. All right, love those women. They the ones. These other ones, let them go through their delusional state. Let them go jack off their youth, trying to be baddies and all this extra bull that's going on out here. Stay focused, red flags, pay attention, and talk about them at bare minimum. I'm not saying if she has these red flags, she's lost cause. She has to be willing to compromise and work on herself. This is Mike Scott, Blessings, Life, of Love.